pretty angels. This video is especially for the members of the Divination Tower. So if you are here, welcome. We are going to do the energy reading for 2026, and I already have some very good messages and guidance for you. So let's begin. So the first card that I have here is from the Akashic Tarot, and that is One of Scrolls on Track. Now this is very fitting because this is a year 1 numerology based, so One of Scrolls and on track also is very fitting for the energies of 2026, because the energies of 2026 is about taking action and deciding, right? So 2025 was all about, as one member said in the chat, it was about endurance, but 2026 is about moving on, right? So as you can see in the card, like the train is standing on the platform, so your opportunities are there already in front of you. They are already standing on the platform, and you are supposed to get your bags and step onto the train, board the train, right? And if you do not make a decision right now, if you do not board the train right now, it's going to leave anyway. It's going to leave without you, right? The engine is smoking, it's ready to go. So if there are any decisions you wanted to make in 2025 and you were not able to make for any reason, this is the year that you can finally move ahead, take a step ahead. So it doesn't have to be something big, it doesn't have to be something radical, it doesn't have to be life-changing, although this year is very good for those kinds of actions as well. But if you're not yet ready for that, just take the first step, just get onto the train, and then we'll see where it goes, right? So this is the energy of 2026. This card itself summarizes the energy of 2026, but I have more for you. So another card that I pulled for the explanation of this card was the Hanged Man in reverse, and this is also kind of delivering the same message as the On Track card. So this is again like, get off the whatever this person was hanging from, the delays are over. So 2025 was all about delays and things not getting done, because all of us were stuck in a lot of inner work and shedding and clearing of our spaces, as well as our mental spaces, our lives. I'm sure a lot of us lost friends, relationships, and I changed countries. I moved from Canada to India, and I lost a few friends, and I cut off my family completely, finally. So there was a lot of loss, and that loss doesn't have to be an actual loss. When you clear something off your plate, your plate is now empty to receive something more. And sometimes, in fact all the time in my life, I have seen that it is always better than what I initially planned for, right? So when the universe clears stuff off your plate, it means something much better is going to come in. Okay, I was just going to check my mic. Yes, it is active. Okay, so the Hanged Man in reverse is also like, yeah, get off that, the place where you were hanging. You can get off that now because the delays are over, and you can take any decision you want to take now, and the energies are going to favor you. The energies are going to take you forward, going to take you on. If I'm also getting the visual of that scene from Harry Potter, where when Harry dies and he goes to sorry for the spoiler if you've not watched Harry Potter. Yeah, he dies in one of the parts, and he goes to a place where he says that it feels like the King's Cross station, and he's like, Dumbledore, like the Dumbledore is his mentor, like he's an old wizard. So he asks, like, Dumbledore, where do I go from here? Where will this train take me next? And he says, it will take you on. Now, so many years ago when I saw this, I was like, meh, what does it mean? But now I know exactly what it means. it means that it will take you to the next step, whatever it looks like, right? Even we don't know what it's going to look like. And so yeah, just get on the train, right? That is what it is saying. So basically, if you were delaying any of your decisions, if you were delaying starting your own business, if you're delaying changing your job, if you were delaying quitting your job, if you were delaying I don't know, cutting off a person, talking to a person you wanted to talk for so long, I don't know, like whatever you were delaying in your life, you can actually go ahead and do it, and the energies are going to favor you this year, right? So the next card we have here is Archangel Michael. This is also from the Akashic Tarot, and as you can see here, Archangel Michael is embracing 2 kids. So if you think of yourself as a kid who the Archangel Michael is embracing, this card also is about having the divine support that you need for your future, right, this year. So once again, the energies are favoring you, and I personally have a very good connection with the Archangel Michael, and he is deeply involved with Reiki healers in particular, and I have had so many experiences with him, and I feel like his energy is very, very like very fierce, fiery energy, red, purple, fire colors, and his energy is also about courage. So he gives you a lot of courage. His energy is very similar to Hanumanji, and he gives you a lot of courage to follow through. So if you are feeling very, very scared to make any kind of decision or to go and do some kind of work, now I don't know about you, but I am an introvert, and it's very difficult for me to pick up and call someone if I need to, like the bank or the customer service, or anything like that. And for me, like, I have to prepare for days before I'm able to do that. But in case if there is something very, very important and I'm delaying because of my fear, my anxiety, my introversion, then I often call upon Hanumanji and Archangel Michael both, and the energy I get is of courage. So I get instant courage out of nowhere. Like suddenly I'm like, I'm not an introvert anymore, for the next 1 hour or so, and then I go ahead and do that work. So he gives you a lot of courage, and he gives you a lot of go-getting energy, right? Moving forward energy. Once again, it's kind of the same kind of energy and message as the first card. So he is again asking you, he is giving you the divine support to move forward. So you must know that you are not alone in this. Okay, as light workers, again, everybody's light worker, but again, as people who are working specifically for the light, we often feel very scared and alone and limited in this 3D reality. But just know that you're not doing it alone. You're not carrying the burden of the whole world or the burden of all your emotions just on your shoulders. You also have your spirit team with you, and a big part of that spirit team often is Archangel Michael, and he's the one you can call upon if you need more courage to do anything, right? So the next card we have here is Two of Cups. Again, very fitting for this year, because last year in 2025, I love these cards, by the way, it's called Illuminated Tarot Deck. Yeah, so in 2025 we lost a lot of relationships. We had a very difficult emotional year, right? So I went through some very, very deep emotional turmoil, and I went through PTSD as well, and I saw myself basically back in the rock bottom emotionally. And the last time I saw myself like this, I did not have all the knowledge that I have now. So with the knowledge that I have now, I was able to carry myself, hold myself, witness myself going through those deeply emotional stages of my life, right? And I was able to see how I was like successfully releasing those emotions through my body. And once I did that, I was able to also like release it in other ways, like crying or writing, or by turning it into art, right? My art is writing these days often, and also writing content for my social media, right? And it put me in a place of a different kind of power that I did not have access to before. And that's because I became completely free of the fear of judgment, right, from other people. So the Two of Cups is again about like working on your emotional aspect, especially when it comes to relationships with other people, because there are two cups, and there is a dark cup and there is a light cup, right? So often when you have a problem with another person, often like if for you it could be like that the other person is not good to you, right? Or for them you are not a good person, right? So it's just about perspectives, right? So whatever it is, like it's like if you want to create harmony between relationships, this is the year to be doing so. So open up emotionally, communicate your emotions to the other person. And emotional stability is a big theme for this year. So it may be that you are still carrying the emotional instability or the trauma or the leftover resentment from the past year. So this year is about cultivating more emotional stability so that you are able to harmonize the relationships that are important to you. And there's also like the lion on top, which is also about courage, as Archangel Michael is. So I'm never disappointed. Like I always see these connections between cards and I'm like, wow. It's not just random cards out of a tarot deck. Many people ask me like, it's just a random card, like how does it matter? It does, because it's the energies. It's anybody who does readings regularly knows that tarot cards are very sassy, and you pull one card and then you pull another one and it's like, did I stutter the first time, like right? So yeah, so courage, emotions, emotional stability, communicating your emotions, developing harmony between relationships. And it for someone who is not used to communicating their emotions or healing, being able to heal relationships with other people, it's definitely a very, very courageous act to be doing so, right? So once again, you don't have to do it all at once. Obviously, you can just deal with one relationship at a time, one issue at a time, one emotion at a time, right? You don't have to go all in if you're not ready for it, or if you think that that is not a very wise thing to do at this moment, right? So again, there is a lot of duality also going on. So you will see the light and dark between in everything basically this year as well. You might be able to see two sides of everything, right? So the last card I'm going to cover is the Six of Roses from the Akashic Tarot again. And this is about I pulled this card for overall overarching theme for 2026, and this card is basically about leaving the battlefield. So as you can see, there are two groups who are fighting with each other on a battleground, and there is a flag which is a combination of a flag of the two which is on the ground. This essentially means that there is no benefit in fighting, right? So this year again, 2025 was a year of Mars. There was a lot of fighting going on, wars, conflict going on. So this may be going on in 2026 as well, but in 2026 we need to take action in order to finish that conflict. So in order to finish that conflict, the guidance for us is to leave the battlefield. So to not engage any further, because it is not going to be of benefit to anybody, okay? Not even to you. So even if you feel like yes, you need to fight, or you need to fight because you are so emotionally invested in it, it's better to just leave the battlefield, leave the conflict, leave the room, leave the relationship, right? So we did talk about harmonizing your relationships here, but know that not every relationship is meant to be harmonized with. Okay, so if you know a person, you know that they're not going to change overnight, and that is not even the goal of us, trying to harmonize the relationship. We are not trying to change the person. We are trying to get them to understand us and to understand them as well, their perspective as well. So this is like a stalemate. So it may be that both the people are true, or both the people are right, and this may be just a stalemate between you two. So if you cannot harmonize the relationships, it is best to just leave the battlefield, or leave the relationship, and that is going to be best for both of you, right? So do not waste your resources, your energy. Do not leak your energy trying to fight with that person, or to explain yourself, or any of that, right? So we also see like 2 castles in the background, and we see a lot of green pastures and overcast clouds, overcast sky. So it's best to just retreat to your own castles and enjoy your own greenery, your own skies, right? Instead of fighting in the battlefield and ruining this whole landscape and also your resources, right? So it says War of the Roses. So roses is again about relationships, right? So these are all the cards I have for 2026, and I hope that these messages sink into your subconscious. So what I recommend is I recommend making notes in one of your notes app in your phone. So whatever messages apply to you, you feel apply to you right now. Sometimes what happens is some messages can be applied to you after a few weeks or months. Right now they don't make sense for you, but they may be really helpful a few weeks or months down the line, especially because this reading is for the whole year. So you're going to forget this video right? You're going to forget this reading, you're going to forget these cards. So I suggest making a note in your Google Keep Notes or Samsung Notes or whatever, iPhone, whatever notes app you have, and make notes of all the messages that that you think are valuable for you from this video. And I suggest like going back to that note every month, so that you're able to reorient yourself every month and stay on track, right? And otherwise, like messages like these, or energy readings like these, energy guidance like this, is not of any use if you are not applying it to your life, right? So there are some really good messages in it for me as well. I'm going to make a note of that in my notes and touch base every now and then. All right, so this was all for today. I really enjoy doing these videos, especially live ones, and I hope to catch you again sometime soon with another topic. And please feel free to reply within the group, at the Divination Tower. By the way, I love the name. So feel free to ask any questions you want. Just reply to any of my posts in the group, recent ones, because I do not get any notifications if you reply to any of the posts. I have to physically go in and check, are there any new replies to my messages. So if you want to do that on a recent message, and or you can just DM me personally, right? That's always an option. So I will see you next time. Have a wonderful rest of your day. It's 8:30. It's almost 9 p.m. here, so I'm gonna go have dinner. It must be 10:30, 11 in another part of the world, EST. Go have your breakfast, go have your brunch, and I will see you next time. Have a good rest of your day.